Morning, welcome to the Sunday preview, and we have a great gospel from the 8th chapter of St. John's Gospel. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, but early in the morning he arrived again in the temple area, and all the people started coming to him. He sat down and he taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery and made her stand in the middle. They said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" They said this to test him so that they could have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and began to write in the ground with his finger. But when they continued asking him, he straightened up and said, "Let the one who is among you without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." And again he bent down and wrote on the ground. And in response they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. So he was left alone with the woman before him. And Jesus straightened up and said, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." The Gospel of the Lord. Well, this scene just shows the bad will of the Pharisees. They're jealous that Jesus is teaching in the temple and he's got huge crowds, and they want to find something against him. So they bring out the old Mosaic law that did say, people caught in adultery should be stoned to death. And they want to set up a trap because they expect Jesus is going to say, "No, that shouldn't be the law. No, we should be merciful." But Jesus doesn't say that. He doesn't fall into their trap. He goes beyond what the law says. And he turns it back on them. Who among you is without sin? And I think tellingly, the elders walk away first. Because they have the longest lives and presumably the most sin. And no one condemns the woman. Jesus makes us all reflect back on our own sin before we're too easy at pointing a finger at somebody else. And that's a good lesson for us all. How easy it is for us to become judgmental and critical. It's almost spontaneous these days, no? We're driven by social media, by talking heads on TV, and by people just in life being very opinionated without reflecting very much. But I think if one thing we take away from this is that we all ought to be reflecting on our own standing before God. How clear is our conscience? How many times could we be accused, just like this woman is accused? That's a good thing for us to do. And then finally, he never tells the woman, "It's okay, just go on." He tells her, "Go and sin no more." So Jesus is firm about sin, but he's also more firm about us judging those who sin.